Welcome to another week of Akio Adachi's Weekly IT Trend X.
Thanks for joining us today.
So, for the first half, we'll be bringing you the latest IT news, just like always. But normally, the second half would be a deep dive with Adachi-san and Yamazaki-san. Well, they're on a well-deserved summer vacation, so we'll be handling that part too.
Now, just a heads up, since we are AI, there might be a few little mistakes here and there. So, please bear with us.
I mean, let's be honest. Humans make the occasional slip-up too, right? Okay, with that out of the way, let's dive into this week's news.
First up, we're going to look at how AI is becoming your new research assistant and how it's poised to change everything from searching the web to, believe it or not, reading the classics.
You know the feeling. You search for something and you just get hit with that endless wall of blue links. It's a mess. Well, Google is rolling out a new feature called Web Guide that's designed to clean up all that clutter.
So the way it works is pretty clever. The AI basically acts like your own personal research librarian. Instead of just giving you one long list, it runs a bunch of related searches all at once. So a search like how to travel solo in Japan gets broken down into these smart categories like comprehensive guides or safety tips, letting you find what you actually need way faster. Now, what if you could take that same AI power and use it to change how we interact with literature? A new service from a Japanese university research group called Humanitext Azora is trying to do exactly that, bringing classic stories to life in a whole new way. It's connected to a digital library with almost 17,000 classic Japanese works, but the really cool part is how you can interact with them. You can ask it simple questions, you can ask for a deep, expert-level analysis, you can chat with an AI pretending to be a character, or, and this one is pretty wild, you can even get it to write a parody in the author's style. For example, one user had this hilarious idea. You know that famous story where the main character turns into a tiger? They asked the AI, what if he turned into a hamster instead? And the AI just ran with it. It rewrote a passage in the original author's voice, perfectly capturing the character's shock at his new plump cheek pouches and tiny reflection. It's just a fascinating look at a totally new way to explore old stories.
But, of course, while some AI helps us appreciate the past, other uses are sparking some very modern controversies and creating some real-world friction.
Take this incident in Kyoto, for example. The famous Kurumazaki Shrine, a place that's deeply connected to the arts, decided to post a new social media icon, a character made by generative AI. The public reaction was so fast and so harsh that the shrine deleted its account just a few hours later. It didn't stop there either. The situation actually escalated to threats, and eventually an arrest was made. The suspect later admitted his motive. He said he was angry because he felt the shrine was defending generative AI. And this really gets at a growing fear some people have, that this technology is a direct threat to the jobs and livelihoods of human artists. According to a legal expert, Masafumi Masuda, this whole situation taps into a really common criticism. The idea that AI is just free writing on tons of human-created work. However, he also clarifies that from a legal point of view, an AI-generated image isn't automatically a copyright violation, unless it was specifically designed to copy a particular work. This friction isn't just cultural either. It's hitting people's wallets. Even as giant companies like Microsoft are pouring billions into the AI boom, they're also making massive cuts. We're talking about roughly 15,000 employees laid off recently.
In a memo to his employees, the CEO, Satya Nadella, explained this wasn't just a simple cutback. He called it a fundamental pivot. He said Microsoft is transforming from a software factory into an intelligence engine. That really shows you that even the biggest companies believe the future is going to require a very different kind of workforce.
All right, let's move to our final segment, where we have two very different stories. One is a super practical safety tip you can use today, and the other is a scientific claim that sounds like pure alchemy. First up, a practical problem. After a mobile battery caught fire on a train in Tokyo, a lot of people rushed to check for product recalls. But here's the catch. A standard search might fail if you don't use the exact product name. A better system, like Japan's SafeLight website, is smart enough to find a recalled lithium battery charger, even if you just search for mobile battery.
It's a good reminder that we need smarter safety tools all around.
And finally, we go from fire safety to, well, a totally different kind of fire: nuclear fusion. A startup in the US has made a pretty stunning claim. They say they figured out a method for modern-day alchemy.
So this company, Marathon Fusion, published a paper outlining a theory. They say you can use the power of nuclear fusion to transform the element mercury into gold. The process basically involves using neutrons from a fusion reaction to change a mercury isotope, which then naturally decays into gold. Yep, mercury into gold.
But this isn't just some cool science experiment. It's actually a business plan. The company estimates that a single plant could produce 2 tons of gold a year. At today's prices, that's an extra $200 million in revenue, a figure that could, potentially, make nuclear fusion profitable all by itself.
But, and this is a really big but, before we all start a new gold rush, we have to point out this research is a preprint. That means it has not yet been peer-reviewed or verified by other scientists in the field. So for now, it's a mind-bending theory, not a proven fact.
And that's all for this week's news. We'll continue in the second half.